Happy New Year, everyone. The first stream of the year. It is January 4th on Tuesday. Welcome to another Tuesday Night Watch Talk here on the Bobby Legs channel. And I am joined by my good friends, and we got Wolfgang back in the Western Hemisphere. Awesome to have him here. And now for the next 4 weeks or however long he is, he will be joining about 4 or 5 streams a week, much to the dismay of his wife, but she's a good sport, right? So she'll put up with Wolfie and his watch nerd friends for now. Uh, Wolfgang, thanks for joining us. How are you, man? How you
I'm
doing?
good, thank you.
Yeah, yeah. What do you?
Glad to be back in the US in much better weather.
Yeah, yeah. Well, much better weather, right? For it's a little chilly where I'm at, but I guess it's probably like in the
Get better
60s and
here, yeah.
70s.
We had a few cold days, but I think we might have reached the 60s today.
Oh, very
And
nice.
Oh, so cold.
So yeah, so
I'm living the dream.
yeah, living the dream. You had a long flight, man,
Yeah, yeah.
last week.
11 hours, 40 minutes, just the flight time.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, you know, the last like 2 hours, I'm used to it. So 8, 9 hours is like no problem, but
right.
it's so boring. You try to sleep,
Yeah,
but you can't really sleep.
yeah,
Especially coming here on the way back, it's a little easier because you have like it's a night flight,
yeah,
so
yeah.
it's
And
just
it's
annoying.
longer, and it's longer coming here, right? Yeah.
It's
See, at least you
sometimes
get that out of the way.
sometimes it's almost 90 minutes longer. Like
Yeah.
this time we had strong headwinds,
Hmm.
and so you can see the speed, and it was like 800 something, and sometimes going back it's over 1,000. So it
Wow.
adds up, makes a huge difference.
You were saying that the last time you went back home, you were on the fastest flight
Yeah, yeah,
um,
yeah, yeah.
recorded, right? That's been it because you had such a strong tailwind.
I can't remember how long it was, but it was incredible.
Yeah.
It's probably LA, Munich, or LA, Frankfurt. I can't remember, but that was super quick.
Yeah. That's awesome. Especially when you're going home. You just want to get home, you know.
It's just you want to get off the plane.
Yeah,
You
yeah, yeah, yeah.
try to watch videos, movies, TV shows. It's just, oh well, what are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do?
Private jet.
Well, you were first on the
Yeah,
chat today. It's cheating a little bit, Wolfie. But hey,
I want to put Dan in his place because he's
yeah,
always beating us all.
yeah, that's true. What do you got on wrist tonight? Let me give you a little solo. Um,
I
oh yeah, look at that.
got the Paul Weber.
That
Yeah.
that is such a beautiful watch, and it's such a departure from anything else that IWC does. Like there's
Yeah,
right. I
absolutely.
mean, there's nothing. I'm not versed in IWC or as well as I would like to be, but I've never seen anything like that.
No,
In their
I think,
lineup.
they had a pocket watch like that. I think they
Hmm.
Hmm.
released it at the same time. Well, like they released this one, and maybe they had an older one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But that they don't even have a case like that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Never made it.
So that was limited to 150
That's the steel
pieces, I
is
think.
500. The steel
500?
was
Okay.
500, and there was a rose gold and the platinum.
So did you buy
Limited.
that used? You
No,
bought
yeah,
that used?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Pre-owned? Okay. Cool.
Awesome. Let's say hello to the chat real quick before we get to my man Colin over here. Hey, Mountain Standard Time. How are you? Happy 2022. Hey, Mr. Casio, Steve, how you doing? AZ Clayton's here. Dan is here. Chaz from the Berg is here. Floriosum. How you doing, sir? Chris over at the Watch Lounge. What's going on? Not so sunny in Philadelphia. Yeah. You guys had some snow yesterday, I think, right? Bill's here. How you doing, Bill? Nice to see you. Joey B, speaking of Philly, he's here. Paul is here. What's going on? Hey, that's my question, Chris. But what is everybody wearing? Would like to hear that. Chaz has got the SBGA 211. Is that's a snowflake, right?
I
That's
think so.
okay. That's the only Grand Seiko reference I can remember. Um, anyway, B Dev is here. Floriosum is wearing the Willard. Nice, very nice. Hey, there is Sanjay. How you doing? Justin's here, strapped in. Oil Money is here, wearing the SL055 tonight. LOL, JK. Rolex Shop Master on Oyster Effect. Probably the cleanest um, message or post you'll see Oil Money make on our streams. Kevin is here. How you doing? James is here. Okay, taking a little break from the chat. Colin, what's going on, man? How you doing? Happy New Year.
Hey, man. How are you?
Good, good, good. What any latest hockey injuries or anything like that? Anything going on?
Still got that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I got a fake tooth I can pop in, but I can't talk with the stupid thing in. I sound like lisping and stuff. So
Are you are you
just rolling with it.
are you still on a vacation or are you back to work?
I went back today.
Okay,
To
okay.
work,
So like
so.
video chats, do you just like put the?
Uh,
Well, you're in Canada. Everybody knows,
yeah,
right? Yeah.
nobody has teeth. Canada, come on.
Oh man, that's awesome.
No,
Nobody has
no,
teeth in
no.
Canada. Uh,
Um,
but they
but
get it. They go like, oh yeah, you were playing hockey.
oh
Yeah.
yeah, they get it. They get it. They know what happened. So I wore it a bit today, the fake tooth, but
Yeah.
yeah, the bad news is now the other tooth that they fixed, I think, is dying on me. So
Oh
that one
boy.
might have to
Yikes.
get some more work too. It's turning colors and
Yeah.
things. So yeah, good fun.
Well, what is not turning colors is what you have on wrist tonight, right?
No, it's very white and very beautiful. Got the
Good day.
uh,
the John Mayer Hodinkee G-Shock.
how dare you, Colin?
So beautiful, and I wore it tobogganing on the weekend, and it was perfect for it.
How dare you wear
Loved it.
that tonight when Wolfgang's here?
I wear it all the time.
You know how much Wolfgang hates that watch. How dare you? Anyway, I got the John Mayer on as well this evening. Um, it's a lot of fun to watch. I got to tell you, I like it. I really like it.
Yeah, I like it too. I really do.
Uh, Caliber's here. How you doing, Wilson? What is up? What is going on? That's nine. Good to see you. James, he's wearing the SKX 171 tonight. Awesome. Brownie, how you doing? Wearing the rose gold Portugueser tonight. Very
Ooh,
nice. Very nice.
that's
Um,
awesome.
yeah,
Just
two
delete
heavy
this.
hitters in the panel. Very for sure. We got the
He's talking
KG.
about our watches.
Yeah, he's talking. He's talking about the John Mayers. Yeah,
Huh.
absolutely. We got the KG veteran in Wolfgang, and then the young punk, the fighter, the
Toothless
bully,
wonder.
the toothless wonder in in Colin. Um, let's see here, Peter C. How you doing?
Your
Welcome.
Wolfgang. Is that better?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Team IWC.
Hold on, let me put
Yeah.
that up there. That's such a great watch, man.
Mm, I love it.
Awesome.
That's what I was wearing all day.
Thank
Uh,
God.
Neff is here. How you doing, Neff? What's going on? Hey, Craig. Thanks for joining us. Good to see you. Um, Wolfie gets those mile high club bonus miles. Okay.
Oh yeah, our flight actually was paid with miles. He's right.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, Howard. Good to see you. Howard was on last week. Incredible review, collection review and discussion. Uh,
I learned
if
a
you
lot.
guys, yeah, if you guys want to check it out, please take a look. It's up there in the catalog, the Bobby Legs catalog. That's the first time I ever said that. Time Hill, how you doing? Good to see you. Detroit Spartan is here. Um, Carry Our Joy, what is going on? Hey, Desmond, how you doing? Good to see you. Okay, so Pale Horse is here. Kevin S, what's going on? We're in the Rainbow Daytona for the mouth. Oh, okay. Um, let's go here. Az Clayton, I'm with Wolfgang. Hate that G Shock. I look. So like I wasn't too thrilled about getting it right. I kind of felt like the slight pressure from our little group to make it a group watch. But I got to tell you, I like it. I really like it. I'm surprised how much I ended up liking the watch.
We know what's
Um,
best.
yeah, yeah, and then you're posing very well there. Wolfie, why don't you just give it a shot? I could send it over to you, and you could just borrow it for.
No, don't do that. He's gonna
I
throw it
know.
out the
That's not a bad
window.
idea, actually. Yeah, all of you send it to me.
Oops,
um,
lost in the mail.
yeah. Okay, so big news kind of coming out, at least anyway in the watch content world, on January 1st, or actually it was like December 31st. I thought I saw the change, but um, as you guys know, Rolex came out with a new updated price list, and some of the stainless steel sports models like the sub and the GMT, you saw a pretty big increase, about 10-11%, on those very popular and now getting even harder and harder to get sports watches. Some other models, not so much of an increase. The Datejust um, and the OP, not so much. A few $100s here or there. The Milgauss, significant increase I saw, as well as the Air King. And I just wanted to get your thoughts on those increases. Colin, what was your initial thoughts? Were you surprised with the jump? Because I felt like 10% was kind of steep, being that I haven't seen that kind of big jump from Rolex in the last couple of years. What were your thoughts?
Um, I wasn't too surprised. I mean, the price of all goods have gone up a
Mm,
lot. I mean, at work we buy stuff and we've seen 6 to 15% on many things. Labor shortages, all that kind of stuff. So I'm not surprised. Plus, you couple that with the demand and the Rolex pieces, they can really charge way more if they really
yeah.
wanted. Um, so I was not shocked, and I kind of heard there were rumblings ahead of time, kind of about that.
Yeah.
I was a little shocked they didn't. Um, yeah, I was a little surprised they didn't do more. Honestly,
Mm, mm,
they could have, and people would have accepted it.
yeah. Wolfie, I know you're not a big, huge Rolex guy. I think you do have a Sea Dweller in your collection. Um, but what was your impression? So do you care, or do you have any thoughts on?
Yeah, with Colin, they could, what I heard is the only reason why they don't go, let's say, put the GMT at 15K is because that's not the Rolex way. They're
Mm,
conservative about everything they do.
hmm.
And if a market downturn, they don't want to be in the position to suddenly, it's going to be tough to sell watches. So the price is still fair. You can argue with the quality is so high. Does it really make a difference if the GMT is 9 or 10? It's still a good price.
Yeah.
Retail price is still fair compared,
Hmm.
to other stuff at that level. It's not going to make a difference.
Yeah.
Plus, like Colin said, that they have to take care of the cost increase they face.
Mm-hmm.
And let's not forget, I mean, Grand Seiko, Omega, they've all been raising prices to the point
Hmm.
where they're just as much as a
Yeah.
Rolex was. And I mean, that's not really where Rolex wants to be either, right? They don't
Hmm.
want to be seen as on par with those brands.
Hmm.
It's
Hmm.
just the way they are, right? So, yeah, I'm not shocked at all.
Yeah. So I have many different feelings about this, and um, as somebody, I mean, I get what you guys are saying, and I think I'm in agreement with it. Lately, last couple of years, things have gotten more expensive. The competition has been raising their prices. They can charge more if they wanted to, and people would still buy. As a person who is not comfortable to spend over X, some of the watches that I'm interested in this, the GMT, for example, now over 10, right? Close to 11. You add tax on it, and now you're getting close to 12. And for me, even though it was $1,000 change, and in the grand scheme of things, maybe that's not a lot depending on where your circumstances are or where you feel comfortable spending. To me, it does make a difference, and it might be a deal breaker for me. I'm not sure I'm comfortable spending close to 12,000 when it includes taxes on a GMT. So it is kind of disheartening a little bit, but I'm not mad because I totally understand the business, right? I totally understand this is a move that they can make, and it will be supported by people still, waiting on lists or lining up outside the stores to buy these watches. They're running a business, right? I get that, and maybe it's just now at this point, um, you know, the Rolex dream, in a sense, is has to be curtailed a little bit. I'll still chase after the Air King, even though the pricing of that went up, but it's still way under $10,000. Maybe the Datejust 41 now comes back into the fold as an option for me because that's under, that's way under, a couple grand under 10,000. So it just changes my strategy a little bit, and it's sad because would love to add a GMT, and maybe one day I will. I just don't feel comfortable right now spending over X, to get there, and X being $10,000. Like that's like kind of like the limit that I am comfortable spending, which may be different than somebody else, and that's a lot of money. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
You can get like in this day and age when used car prices are going up and car prices are going up, like, 10 grand, I mean, that can go a long way, or maybe not a long way, but it can be focused on something else in this time to be more family focused, right? you know, After all, at the end
Yeah.
of the day, this is a hobby for me.
Yeah.
So,
Well, that's
um,
exactly it, right? I mean, this is going to have zero effect on the demand of Rolex watches, in my
mhm,
opinion. You're a collector, though, right? So this
yeah,
weighs into your decisions more. But I'm going to make up a number, but 50% of the people that are buying these watches are flipping them immediately. So
yeah,
for them, so I shell out an extra $1,000. I'm flipping it anyway, so who
yeah.
cares, right? That's what they're thinking. But yeah, it hurts the collector a bit who wants this piece and has to pay a little more.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, like, it is what it is, and now, I just maybe focus on some other brands um, that can fill in the needs and
Hmm.
what my interests are. Maybe I do at this point start looking at Omega, which I had never owned before. You
There's a
know,
new Omega you could buy.
there's new Omega. We're gonna get to that. Don't Let's not get too ahead of ourselves.
Oh,
But yeah, there is a new Omega that we can get, but probably a little past my price point. Kevin asks, will Colin get a Canopus gold tooth? Okay, hold on to that. Hold on to that thought, Kevin. We're gonna get there. Danny's saying, I agree with Colin. I thought it would
yeah,
be 15 to 20% cost of businesses right now.
it's crazy.
Um, let's see here. Omega's been doing a lot of price increases. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have. Still, though, in comparison to Rolex, uh, you know, um, what you
Well,
get. No, no, no. I'm not comparing price
oh,
increases. I'm
okay.
comparing, like, still, like, you could still get a lot of awesome Omegas, even with their price increases, less than what you can get a sub date now, which is over $10,000 for the first time, right? I mean, you can get a Seamaster. I mean, yeah, if they've raised the Seamaster prices, 5-10%, it's still like half the after
Hmm.
if you get any discount, if you can get any discount, you're
Right.
basically getting it for about half the price of a sub.
So like Cima Aquaterra World Timer, that's what, just under 10?
I think so,
Mm,
right?
it's under 10.
Just barely. So like
Yeah.
that. And that's what a
Euro
lot of
was
people would say is a lot more watch for the money, right?
Right, right. I mean, that's a awesome, awesome, beautiful watch, awesome convocation. Yeah, and you can pretty much get it for less than a sub date,
Mhm.
right?
I mean,
Did,
for me personally, that'd be kind of like the perfect outcome if the Rolex price increase gets people to look at other things.
mhm,
Mhm.
Now that I would argue, and I always argue, there's so much out there that's. I mean, it always comes down to the design, what you like. But there's so much good watches out there for way less money than a Rolex.
mhm.
You know, people just keep chasing the one train. And
Yep.
I don't think it's gonna change, but
Yeah.
it'd be
Yep.
nice if it would.
Yeah. Detroit Spartan making a good point here. Rolex raises prices is completely irrelevant if you pass up a Daytona because it costs 1K more. You're an idiot. You're absolutely right. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
but I mean, I can't shell out 15 grand right now. You know what I mean? Even I probably couldn't shell out that kind of money anyway for a Rolex Daytona previous to the the increase. But your point is taken, though. If you have the dough, um, $1,000 or whatever it was
Yeah.
increase is not going to phase you.
If you were
Not going to
buying a
phase you.
Daytona, yeah,
Yeah.
$1,000 doesn't matter
Right.
from I would say 99% of the people.
Yeah. But if you're interested in a Explorer One, right? That was at like in the low sixes. Now it's over seven. Um, that may be a deal breaker for you. You know what I mean? Like if that's your only watch that you're interested, and maybe you're dipping your toes into Rolex and you want to get a classic, that, and maybe this is like the only Rolex you'll ever get. You know what I mean? That could be a deal breaker. You know. But then again, we're talking about two different scenarios here, where these prices are meant to deter, or or made in mind that people are going to flip these things anyway. Um, Rolex has declared the watch market bullish. Justin says, um, if you're offered a GMT legs, call me. I'll buy it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, and here's where the hypocrisy um, stands, right? Like, if I'm offered a GMT, I'm probably gonna do my
You're gonna
best.
figure it out.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna figure it out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where before was a no-brainer, now like it's just like I have to like do a lot of soul searching. That sounds a little, much, but being dramatic, but it is. I mean, like, I'm having like an existential crisis over this. Kevin S is saying, but Rolex really has no cost of ownership at retail. I don't understand the discomfort.
Right.
I hear you. I hear you. I still feel it. I don't know. I don't know. Um, no joke. I'm buying a Tag Tourbillon over a 15K Rolex, but that's just me and not recommended.
It really is just him. Yeah.
Yeah. uh, the
No, I'm
lust. Yeah.
I'm I I don't want to tag Tourbillon, but I'm with him on the general point.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm I'm not interested in any Rolex. You
Yeah.
know, if they call me
Even,
tomorrow for a Daytona, I'm calling one of you guys, asking if you want it.
All right.
I I
Colin,
I don't
Colin
want
would be excited about that. Call Colin. um, Marcelo was saying they could charge 20K for a Daytona and nobody would bat an eye. Yeah,
yeah.
probably. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. I mean,
I mean,
um,
some people, but most no.
Yeah.
What do
uh,
people buy over 30?
yeah.
Right.
Um, Steve, the percentage depending on the model, but a lot of the steel sports, like they went up significantly, like almost
They were about
10,
10, a little over 10, most of them.
lower 10 on the steel sports. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And then the less in demand ones were about 3%, I think, 3.5 or so,
Yeah.
like gold models and date justs and things like
Mhm.
that.
Yeah, Penny, you're right. I mean, the fluted and Jubilee is definitely over 10K with taxes. I'm looking more of a like a. I got a weird combination. I like the smooth bezel with the Jubilee, and that's like at 8150, and then taxes is closer to 9. Um, Still in my mind. doable because it's under that magical 10K number, which I cannot explain why it's magical, but it is for me.
You just got to
Um,
get over that, and
I know, I know. I just got to
then you'll
pull a
be
fan
on
base.
your way. You'll
Yeah.
just be like, ah,
Like, once I go over it, then I'll just like completely always
yeah,
go over it, right?
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, even if you collect or hold 20 or 30 years, your money is safe and will likely double or triple. Yeah, when we're talking,
Maybe. Yeah.
yeah.
If history repeats itself, yeah.
Hmm. Hmm. Joe B saying 10K for a watch is tough when you can get an Aquaterra and Seikos with such superior watches for half the price, and throw in all the shark bites and PEX piping that you want, right, Joe? Um,
Save money. Yeah.
save
Don't
money,
hire plumbers.
right? Penny saying all AP price increases really hurt 3 and 4K at the time. Yeah, yikes.
Yeah.
Um, Christian is saying, Bobby, get that 40 millimeter Yachtmaster now while it's accessible. Interested to see the prices in the next few years. Man, so I was looking on David SW, and I know David charges a little bit more. He's a little bit pricier, but he's got the reputation, right? And whatnot.
Mm,
So anyway, I'm looking at these like Yachtmasters there, the blue dial, and they're going for like 15 or 16 on that site. I remember when just a year and a half ago they were going for just under 10. You know what I
yeah.
mean? It's just bananas how finally the market's catching up on the Yachtmaster, which, while everything was going hot, the Yachtmaster was staying pretty level, and it was the watch to buy, and now it's no longer the secret.
Everything's taken off.
Yeah,
I
everything's
mean,
taken off.
you're seeing date just go for more than more than list price.
Yeah,
There
yeah.
you go. 8,992.
8,900.
I love that watch. I just wish it was a little smaller
Yeah,
for me.
right. I
It's
agree.
it's thick and it's if you can pull it off, it's a good buy.
Yeah, you need a Wolfie size wrist um, for that, and Chaz. Um, Random Rob, hey Random Rob, the price increases changes nothing. You guys are all nuts.
You got what? We were saying it changes nothing, weren't we?
Yeah, I mean, well, you and me. I think that's
Oh,
directed to me, basically.
okay.
Um, Glazute is so underrated. Yes, it is. Kevin S says I'm still a buyer to the new prices. Let's see what Paul's got to say here. Paul, Rolex gets the status casual buyers want. Nothing is going to change anytime soon. It's like the Porsche 911. 1% of the buyers are purists and understand what they have. The rest are posers. Wayban. I just
Yeah,
noticed that
Tudor
the
went up.
price Tudor went up too. I was thinking about Tudor today, and I was talking to AC Clayton, and we were talking about this year, and like kind of like what the plan is for what our plan is. And I tell you what, Tudor can really throw a monkey wrench into my plans this year if they do something awesome, like specifically a Black Bay 58 GMT. Like that
Mm,
would I think be lights out, and I would have to get one. I would have to get one. Um, let's see here. Kevin S. Bobby Legs is the only guy in the world backing off Rolex because of the price increases. James is saying the price increases changes nothing for me. My Rolex fund overflow will overcome that in a few months. Okay. Sorry, guys, I'm catching up. There's a lot going on with the chat here. I heard your Seamaster is better buy than an OP at the same price. The sub is 2 times the Seamaster. They're pricing themselves into a different category.
yep, on
Yeah.
purpose. Yeah.
Howard is saying I am less concerned about Rolex prices than their lack of engagement with the watch community. Compare Grand Seiko to Rolex on collector engagement.
Yeah, there's zero collector
There's zero,
engagement.
there's zero
Yeah.
collector engagement,
Yeah.
right?
And I think
uh,
they like it that way, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's like, no, 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 no. You come to us. We don't come to you.
Right, right.
You
They're
stay over
like
there.
they're like the Vincent Corleone of the watch world. Sanjay, that's a reference to The Godfather that you haven't seen yet. Um, Anish, what's up, man? If you were already on the edge of your budget and weren't going to flip, I think is I I think this will impact you slightly. The demand is so high that a little increase won't impact the market much. 10% on the Explorer 2. I will not be deterred. However.
Yeah.
Oh, yep. Let's see here. Oh, hey, thanks, Miss Ross. Send super chats to create a 10K over fund. So silly. So silly. Okay. Let's move on from Rolex. I think we been beating this over the head a little bit too. Oh, Craig here. World Timer is perfect size for us. Bigger wristed guys. You small wristed guys have way more watches. Yeah, but we have big wrist envy. We do. Okay. So
I kind of wish I had either a big wrist or a small wrist. I'm like kind of average. It'd be kind of good to be one or the other. Because then
yeah,
it's easier to get those niche ones, I think.
I know. So I'm 6 3/4,
Yeah, me too.
and usually I don't have a problem, right? I mean, I got a Panerai. It's 44 mil. We know Panerais wear, in a sense, a little bit smaller. What my experience is, even though they have a big, case diameter, they short lug to lug, they sit on top, they're great. Um, where I have a problem is that thanks thanks Kevin. Appreciate this. You have yeah, yeah. Thank you, thank you. Where I have a problem is like when you get some of those 6498 or 6497 movement watches that have a 42 millimeter case diameter. Great, but then they go like 52 or 53 lug to lug. That's where there's an issue, and there's a lot of watches that do that I like. Right, a lot of German watches, handmade watches. They do that. Like Benziger does that, and Dornbluth does that. They're 42 millimeter case diameter, 52, 53 millimeter length, lug to lug, and it just doesn't. That particular size combination just doesn't look good on my wrist, or it doesn't feel comfortable to me. That's the only time I wish I have a bigger wrist, really. Other than that, I feel like I can wear pretty much a lot of things. The only thing another watch that I'm jealous that I can't wear is that Zenith Pilot, that 45 that Wolfgang has. The 40 is cool, but I feel like the 45 is more traditional.
You could pull it off if you can wear the Panerai, maybe.
Yeah, but the lug to lug on your watch is probably over 52 or 53.
Maybe
So,
but wouldn't it be cool to? I'm sorry, but
yeah,
like there's a lot of people with small wrists, and like you could get like awesome older day dates, like 36 mil day dates with really cool dials.
yeah.
You could get like we were looking at that Breguet 3357 Tourbillon with the Guilloche dial. It's like a 35 millimeter watch. Like there's so many really, really cool watches that are like 35, 36, 37 that you could wear without, any thought to it. Audemars Piguet Star Wheel. Like there's all these really awesome older cool watches for small
Yeah.
wristed guys, and I think they need to maybe look at those more. I don't know. That's where I wish I had a smaller wrist. I think.
That's a good point. Like like an older date.
Yeah, like a double quick or whatever for like way less than what most people pay for a 40 mil.
Wolfie, what's the smallest watch that you have?
Sector dial Longines, probably
It's a 40, isn't it?
38, 38 and a half.
Is it really?
I think small.
Oh yeah, I guess maybe it is. You're right, 38 and a half, yeah.
Yeah. I look a little girlish when I'm wearing it, but
yeah, but I mean that's funny that
if I really like it, I prefer a bigger presence on the wrist. But if I still like it, I would go down to 38 and a half.
yeah. Yeah, I think you could pull that off. It depends. Like if it's all dial on a 38, you know, you can do it. Like if you had a small diver at 38, that probably wouldn't look good because the dial is just much smaller. Yeah,
It's a little
yeah, it's not.
small,
Yeah,
but
let's get a solo layout there.
That
yeah.
doesn't look small
Doesn't
on
look
you.
that small on you. Yeah,
No.
it looks good.
And you know what? A lot of people say just get over it and wear what you like and all that. The problem
Yeah,
is when I do look down at like a 36 mil watch, I just don't like the way it looks. Maybe I just have to get used to it. I don't know, but
yeah.
That's
I think it's the
that's
initial
exactly it.
shock.
Yeah, it's that I don't like it.
yeah, yeah.
I don't care. But when I, it's kind of
You should sell it.
Yeah.
no, no.
Interesting point here. Craig is making the Aqua Timer the Aqua Terra World Timer is 43, but if you get it on rubber, there's no extension beyond the lugs.
Mhm.
So it might on rubber it might be doable for guys like us. Who
I
knows?
mean, we can wear these nice big G Shocks, no
Yeah,
problem.
man. I gotta put it back on. Gotta put it
Yeah,
on for
looks so good.
yeah.
A little thick,
I
but
really,
Yeah.
that's fair.
You know what it is too? It's not like it's like an off white, so like it kind of
Yeah.
just like it looks like if it was like a stark white, yeah, maybe that'd be a problem. But
Mhm.
it's just an off white and it's just super comfortable on wrists, you know. I was, putting fire in a wood stove today. I didn't it was all good. It was
oh,
good.
you could left it in there.
It was good. No, no, no.
Anyway, let's move on.
Okay,
Sorry.
let's move on. Bobby, 45 millimeters and this will be no problem. All right. Well, we'll see. I gotta try it on. I gotta try it on.
Try
Uh,
it.
agree with Colin 100%. Vintage market is made for smaller wrists.
Mhm.
Um, and that said, there are awesome smaller older watches, but many more larger modern watches. I miss out on at
Mm,
least 50% of all the watches because they're too big for me.
that would suck. Yeah.
Yeah. Um,
Sorry.
Yeah, it's it's both sides are correct, like Colin said, and but on the other hand, you're missing out on the stuff
Yeah.
that's too big, and we're missing out on the stuff that's too small.
I,
Yeah.
I feel like the stuff that's bigger is what I'm more interested now. Like very sporty, right? Looking watches, or just like those big like those 64 98s and 97s where that have like the big like a 40 2 millimeter case diameter and just look like a pie pan sometimes because it's all I just love that look, and I feel like I miss out on it. But but I mean that could change. That can change. I mean, I mean, I could change at any time because I'm fickle about everything when it comes to watches. Um, long lugs make the longevity good on
Yeah.
Wolfgang's wrist. Yeah,
It
that's the
helps.
key. That's the
Yeah.
key for sure. Marcel said every time I wore my Hulk or my North Flag, it felt small. Um,
Yeah, he has a big wrist.
yeah.
Hulk was small on him. Wow.
They look kind of
Um,
small on me too. They not as small
Yeah.
as the long, but a sub.
yeah.
See more like
Wilson, you can wear any diameter if it's just a matter of you getting used to it. He has a 36 millimeter watch too, but his is a vintage, I think, a 36 millimeter, right?
yeah.
Sanjay, thank you. Had to run and had to run again. We'll catch up in the morning. Have a
Damn.
great stream, friends.
It's like
So nice.
Archie luxury tonight. You're
Oh,
racking up the super chats.
stop, stop. Everybody's so generous and I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I don't know. I do that a lot. I don't know why I do that. Neff, I also hate wearing a watch that the strap falls straight
Mm,
down on. Yeah, if the lug's too long, can't stand the look. Yeah. Um, kicking in for Wolfie's John Mayer G-Shock. Oh man.
Unlikely.
This is probably one of the truer statements out here. Wolfgang can make a watch look cool, no, not the other way around. Wolfgang, any watch you wear, it looks awesome.
Well, thank you.
Um, Bobby's paying everyone with this. Yeah, of course. Okay, so big announcement today. Our buddy Bobby Kumar is taking credit for calling it. He said to me that don't be surprised on the first Tuesday of the year there'll be a big announcement
oh yeah.
by Omega, and he was right. I guess, yeah. So Omega coming out with the Omega Speedmaster Calibre 321 Canopus Gold, white gold, Speedmaster here. Uh, was it listed for 81,000? $81,000?
Something like
Um,
that.
you're a Speedmaster fan. What did you think of this release? Does it move the needle anyway for you?
I mean, I think it's a beautiful watch. It's very beautiful, but geesh. I mean, I get it. I get what they're doing. It's I think Marcus said it. It's a halo piece, right?
Yeah,
It's got the 3-2-1 movement. White gold. There's Grenfa enamel. There's, beautiful dial. All that stuff. Wish they didn't do the etching of the what is it, hippocampus on the back crystal.
yeah,
But other than that, I think it's a killer release. But the price is just bonkers. I mean, you can get the 57 broad arrow for what 10% of this cost, and it looks very similar.
yeah.
Obviously, it's not gold, and it's not got the 3-2-1 and all the other bells and whistles. But yeah, pretty crazy.
What'd you think, Wolfie?
Well, the seahorse or whatever it is mind blowingly stupid. I mean, this is
Yeah.
just this is yeah.
Yeah, not a big fan. Yeah, I mean, I hear you.
You know, I'm not a chronograph guy. I still like, except for the seahorse, I still like it. But 80, I mean,
Yeah,
there's so much you can get. We're talking site work retail. Makes no sense to me. Sometimes they do stuff. If it sells, good for them.
they'll
We
sell
Yeah,
a
probably,
few.
it's not a limited piece, right? It's a production piece.
who's
Who
gonna
knows
buy
how
it?
much? Yeah.
There'll
If
be a
Well,
few people.
there'll be a few people. Look,
Yeah.
I'll give you a couple points. None of this are original ideas of mine. I heard a couple people saying it, and it makes sense. Um, $80,000 for a white gold watch. Nobody's gonna know it, right? I mean, like it looks like a stainless steel watch at the end of the day.
Mhm.
So that's one thing. And I like what Marcus had to say earlier. How this just makes the Ed wife more desirable, and I think he's right about that.
Maybe that's what they were doing.
Yeah. Um,
Well, so like reality check. So a white gold day date is what, 40, high 30s? I'm trying to use US dollars. So I know it's about 50,000 Canadian dollars.
mhm.
So this is like double. Like,
Yeah.
like for an all gold watch, sure, it's got a chronograph. But man, that's a lot of money. Yeah, someone mentioned, I think it was Kevin, they've priced this to only build a few of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's basically limited based on the price they're asking.
Right.
Yeah, that probably, maybe for them, they think it makes kind of sense to have pieces like that in the collection,
Hmm.
without expecting much sales,
Mm.
just for prestige or
Getting the
to
news.
other
Yeah.
things,
Mm.
getting news. Maybe, I don't know if that really makes sense. In our groups, like that Aquaterra, the super light one that was like whatever 50 or something, didn't really do much good for Omega as a brand, in as far as the standing in our groups. This also catches a lot of, kind of more bad press from us.
Go buy the
Yeah.
Sedna Gold Speedmaster you can get them for like 30 on the secondary market, and
Yeah.
it's gorgeous. And yeah, way less money.
Yeah. Neff not a big fan of the seahorse in the back. Wilson GTFO Speedy for 81K. That makes the ultralight look like a deal.
Go get it. Go get the ultralight.
They have a
Damn, Speedmaster
tourbillon.
Datograph.
They have
What
a
was that, Wolfie?
tourbillon that most of you
The
guys don't
center
know
one?
about. Yeah, the center one that I really like. I think it's like
Yeah.
170,000
Is that what it is?
or something.
Yeah.
That's probably similar,
Same idea.
I asked in the boutique for it. They're not getting anything. It's an application piece. They they want to have it in the catalog, but they don't expect people to come to go into the boutique and actually buy one, I think.
Yeah. Kevin's saying they should have done a closed case back. I don't know. That's a beautiful movement. They just shouldn't have just put the seahorse in the back, right? I mean, well.
Yeah, that is just
Brownie's saying with a slow delivery of the non-limited Ed White, they may not be able to make many of these anyway. So maybe pricing based on a number of movements they can make.
Yeah. I mean, I guess if you put an order in for this one, they'll make this ahead of a regular Ed White, but
More so saying you can get a Zeitwer for that kind of money and have money left over to go visit the factory.
Yep.
Omega Moonshot bet to sell at 50% discount. Detroit Spartans, the best part is the movement, and they obstructed it. Absolutely.
I don't know why they do that. Why do they do that? Like Grand Seiko does it all the time.
Godzilla.
I can understand it with Grand Seiko a little, but like don't cover up a 321.
Yeah. All gold Omegas Ecoterras are in the mid 30s. Buy this and get a lifetime priority of any special Omega.
That's true. Probably get a Snoopy out of the deal, I bet.
Mr. Casio, if I get it on Yoma in 2 years, it's for 60% off. Yoma shop. Justin saying he'd rather have a Sedna Gold Speedmaster.
Me too. Sedna's beautiful.
Chaz is waiting for a Canopus Gold Aquaterra.
Actually, maybe this is a good way to get the Snoopy. You buy this, then you flip a Snoopy, and then it's like getting this for 40.
Hey, Tim. Nice to see you. Prediction, this will sell 2 times over retail.
Hot take.
Oh, do it, Tim.
Very hot take. Yeah, you should buy it.
Get it then. We'll make tons of money.
And that's saying for 81,000, they should have at least provided a solid case back separately.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. I think Tim was kidding, but so you're saying for this kind of money, you could buy a Panda, Pepsi, and a sub on the gray market. For 81K, you should be platinum.
You could buy 3 incredible watches for this kind of money. Like if you dig into the archives of some brands and stuff, like forget Rolex, forget like any of that stuff. Like, or if you really want a Rolex, sure, go buy a Panda Daytona and still have 50 left.
Well,
maybe 40 left.
Well, let's put you on the spot there, Con. So 81K, would you get that that you really love?
Would I get a Panda Daytona?
The Breguet. Would you start off with that Breguet?
Oh, yeah, sure. Go get a 7097 for like 25,000. So I got 65 left. No, 55 left. And then maybe get a dual met and Longa 1 moon phase. You could literally get all 3 of those watches.
Yeah. You really have to have a lot of dough and really like Omega to get this one, right? I mean,
yeah.
That's why I'm thinking, who's the buyer for these types of watches? It makes no sense.
Somebody is, though. I mean, there's a lot of money out there. There's people with a lot of money out there that are gonna get this.
But they're usually not. I mean, there's probably high-end Omega collectors, but the people that spend $80,000 on one piece, they're going to way different brands.
Yeah.
We're talking AP, Patek, the usual suspects. Exactly.
Wilson saying the money launderer watch.
Can't get your money out of it, though. That's the problem.
Calibre, I mean, I think I like the London Watch Collector. I like his videos, and you're absolutely right. He would totally get this watch. He would totally
Maybe.
get this watch.
I think even I know who that guy is.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know who that is.
Oil Money with a good point here. Do you know how many Yema Wristmasters you can get for that kind of money?
Is that like early bird pricing or?
Yeah, early bird pricing. You're looking at 162,000 of them.
Yeah, I posted in Tim's group today. I could get 40 of those for all you guys.
Yeah.
And have 2 million left instead of buying the 5711 Tiffany. So it's all relative.
And then you could have the mugs made of us getting it, like our group with that. Yeah.
In full gold.
Marcel's saying they sold all those museum watches for over 100K. I'm sure they will sell 15 of these in 5 years.
Yeah.
Sure. I think so. Yeah. I mean, I think for sure, right? Kickstarter pricing. Chad's saying there are a lot of hardcore speedy collectors out there. I bet a few have coin to buy one of these. Yeah.
That might be the market.
That might be the market.
They'll
for
sell
sure.
some.
Yeah. So Wolfie, I've heard you make the statement that you're gonna tone it way down this year.
Sad.
None of us believe you, right?
I know that. My wife doesn't believe it either.
Yeah. No, she
but
knows.
I have to change. I have to change. It's
why?
I mean, you can get.
First of all, I spent too much money,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'll be sitting. If I have one more year like the last two, I'm sitting on 55 watches.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot.
I mean, you don't have
that I like to stay in the hobby.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a big part of it. I have no plans of leaving the hobby, so I want to make the sensible decisions.
Make it last.
I'm thinking I want to keep collecting for 20 more years.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, I mean, you don't have to you don't have to break the bank on buying watches. I mean, you can find some
that's
some
why
affordable.
I'm thinking, I have the smart thinking that, well, I'm not buying any of. I mean, this is just outrageous. I'm not buying any G-Shocks, especially those that look that ugly.
What are you talking about?
I'm thinking, in a sub collection of I really like Longines, doesn't break the bank, so I could have build a 10-piece Longines collection and don't count it in the overall collection. See, that makes a lot of sense.
I see your logic. I see what you're doing.
But still, I gotta change.
Okay, but but you're not much of a seller, right? I mean, you pretty much.
No, I mean that's one of the big reasons. If you sell 8 and buy 10, you just added 2, and the collection keeps growing slowly.
Yeah,
but you don't have anything in your collection where you're like, I don't wear that. Why do I even have that?
I sold last year. I sold my 2 chronographs because I had a problem with them. Stupid, really, but I didn't want anything that makes no sense to me. But I like all the ones I have, and I wear all the ones I have, and so I don't really want to. And I don't want to get into that game of selling, adding. It's a headache. Maybe I'm gonna do it one day,
Yeah.
But I kind of like the idea of just keeping them, and.
No, I hear you. Yeah.
They don't have upkeep money. You don't even have to service them.
Yeah.
You can wait.
Yeah.
And service them later. I like a collection. I like to build the collection.
I think Mezzine has got a point here. 10 is the new 1, right? So you really have like 5.5 watches when you think about it, right? So you're fine. You're right.
And
No,
you
but
need
look,
2 collections too, because you
yeah.
have
Yeah,
watch.
I have
Yeah,
some here, some in Austria.
yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean, look, I get what you're saying. I mean, I want to build a collection over time, and I think I was getting ahead of myself a little bit. So I've pared it down and want to add very slowly and methodical. I want to have a collection at the end, when I get older, a couple years, a couple decades from now, if I make it, that I can look back and be proud of and curate a collection. So I totally get that. But I know you. You know what I mean? I mean, I know you enough, in a sense, through our discussions over the last year or so, that this is going to be the challenge. This is probably going to be the hardest thing. Yeah, but harder than eating 3 chickens in a day. It's going to be, it's going to be harder than that, I think.
it's already, I already kind of I'm going to Arizona to visit some friends,
Yeah.
and they're gonna take me to all their best friends, all the ADs,
Hmm.
and I'm probably gonna run into something that I really like.
Yeah.
It's the new me, so I gotta show restraint.
You just got to be more selective, maybe.
Yeah, that's
You
the
know,
plan.
like
That's sometimes
really,
But I
yeah.
feel like you are selective. And
I
you
am,
know what I
but
mean?
You pick really good stuff. You
Yeah,
really
you
do.
don't make mistakes.
no, but still, I give you an example. When I started the collection, if I would run into something for between 2 and 4 thousand bucks, like a Tudor, Longines, a Breitling, I wouldn't think much about. Oh yeah, I like it, and I really do. So I would have bought it. But now I'm thinking, okay, the thing keeps growing and growing. That's not the new me. So I'm
Mm,
doing what Colin said. I got to be more selective. Think, okay, well, what makes sense to add, and I'm trying to kind of figure out when to get it. Like if we all guys get together for whatever trunk show, I want to get something there.
mm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
And if I'm maybe going on a trip to Arizona, does it fit in the yearly plan?
Mm,
mm,
you're too
mm-hmm.
much of an extrovert. That's a
Yeah,
problem.
yeah.
Yeah, gotta be.
Why? What does that mean?
You just like to be out and part of the
Oh,
action.
yeah,
Got too many engagements.
it's more it's it's a bet. The purchase experience is better at the trunk show
Mhm.
with friends.
Yeah.
Like, the last trunk show I bought, me and my friend Mike actually went to the back room and kind of did the negotiation for all the pieces together.
Oh wow. Two
And,
on one.
kind of Mike said, he's gonna do it if I'm doing it. And so it's more fun if than
Peer
me
pressure.
by myself in
Yeah.
Vienna.
Whatever you got to do.
Wilson says,
Let me answer 2 questions that I read. I don't have the Longines. Someone was asking about the blue. What's it called with the eye, the
yeah,
titanium?
big guy, the
I
big
don't
guy.
Big
have
guy.
that. And I had 2 chronographs. I sold the Seamaster chronograph and the thinnest I had, the 45 millimeter on a bracelet, an older one.
Yeah.
Mm.
Wilson saying, okay, Liza spelled from the stream. Bobby Legs is buying Rolex, all of Rolex regardless. Wolfgang is buying all the watches this year. And Colin has a wonderful smile. Chaz, it's January 4th, and Wolfgang's already struggling. Not a good sign for restraint strategy.
True. But it's the
Um,
new me. It's just 4 days old. So, it's got to grow stronger first.
Smart move, long game. If you bought a good watch a year for the rest of your life, you're better off. Yeah, but what's the fun in that? Only
Yeah, I
Yeah.
one
can't.
watch.
I don't see myself at this moment doing one a year is not realistic. I mean, you're gonna say my whole new me is not realistic,
Right.
but
Wolfgang needs to buy more tag clothing accessories. That's a nice leather. It's a nice jacket, though, man. I gotta tell you, that was a nice
It is.
jacket. Um,
yeah, back in the day when they sold it at the boutique.
Detroit Spartan saying, I have the same relationship with Wilson, but he bails when the negotiations start. Oh, man, that's awesome.
And no oil money. That's all I'm gonna say.
Me and my friend Mike actually went to the got me. You got me. Gets me every time. And that oil money. Well, guys, 10 o'clock. We got through a pretty good hour here, I think. Good discussion.
Mhm.
Thanks, chat, for getting involved. Wolfie, what do you got planned other than coming back on tomorrow night?
Tomorrow night, what's going on tomorrow night?
Wednesday night watch talk. Just teasing.
Not much.
Yeah.
Not much plans.
No,
Just
no,
now
no
this
casino
week.
hopping. You don't do the casinos, do you? No.
No, and CS is in town. Everything is super busy, so we're avoiding the strip
Yeah.
till next week.
Gotcha.
And just hanging out with you guys all day long.
Colin, your Instagram game has been on fire lately, man. If you guys haven't not following Colin lately, he's been. I know you're on a little bit of a Christmas vacation, so you're doing a lot of pictures,
Yeah. Yeah.
but
Thanks,
yeah,
man.
you keep
Yeah,
knocking them out of the park.
going for volume,
Yeah.
basically. Yeah, it was fun on vacation. Anytime I had a few spare minutes, take some pictures and play around with reels and all that
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, I noticed a lot of action on the IG.
Yeah.
Lot of action.
A lot of action.
On the new dog IG.
Oh yeah, yeah. Almost
You wanna-
at 100 followers for the dog.
Oh wow. You want to give the dog a little plug right now?
No.
Okay. Nah.
She's getting a big head.
Yeah, you gotta knock her down a little bit.
Yeah.
Anyway, she's adorable. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining me tonight. And chat, thank you again for a great chat and awesome content there. And we'll see you guys next week. Take care. Have a good one.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye bye.